Dogman, the canine cryptid we've all come to know and fear. It's midnight, so you must be a part of the Midnight Lycanthropy Club. Hey everyone, welcome back to another Midnight Lycanthropy. I'm one of your hosts, Brooke. My other host is Kenny. He'll be here shortly. Tonight, we're going to be taking a look around my neck of the woods here in the Carolinas. So sit back, relax, get cozy while me and Kenny take a walk into the forest.
Did you see the size of them paw prints?
He was in the graveyard saying some strange chant.
Oh, hell no.
She said the creature kept trying to open her bedroom window.
Hey, Kenny, what's up?
Why, how are you doing, my co-host?
I am good. I am ready to talk about today's episode because we have indeed talked about your neck of the woods up in Maine, but we have yet to talk about Dogman and Dogwomen in the Carolinas, where I grew up.
This is true. This is very true. Yeah, no, there's definitely a few nice female dogman interactions down there that we can touch base on here in the future for sure. But today, I got like, let me see here, 1, 2, 3. I got like 4 or 5 nice encounters for you from South Carolina, the North Carolina area for sure.
Nice. I am pumped to hear these. So I'm going to go ahead and let you take the main stage today, and we're just going to listen and comment on these wonderful stories that we have here, or terrifying stories, I should say.
Excuse me, all through how it's viewed in the hourglass, correct?
True, very true.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it's always nice to sit down and keep on rolling with this. And we have a ton of new stuff that we're going to be able to push out. So just like last night, got 15 to 20 more encounters that I put in. Can't remember the exact amount because in the midst of doing all that, I was pushing out a video and filtering through some images that I needed to get caught up on. But yeah, no, the knowledge has definitely been pouring in quite plentifully recently, which is pretty good. So
Yeah, a lot of people have been ramping up the sightings, been seeing them, and glad we got Kenny here to document them all. I'm excited about that.
such kind words, such kind words.
So I guess we got a couple stories from the Carolinas lined up today, right?
That we do. North Carolina or South Carolina first, probably South.
Ooh. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's start from the bottom and work our way up.
Work our way up. All right.
Yeah.
So the first encounter I have for us right here took place on Tuesday, 1989, Table Rock State Park, South Carolina. A 22-year-old hiker named Elise Lindsay mysteriously just goes missing. Her last known whereabouts were headed towards an extremely remote and dense area. After 2 weeks, the search is called off, but mysteriously, 2 days later, Elise is found hiding and terrified near the 43-mile foothills trail. The 22-year-old woman told the police she had stepped off the main trail because she had been being followed by unknown dog-like wolf creatures. She said that she was so afraid that she heard these things barreling through the forest towards her that she was unable or did not feel safe enough to try to yell out to people that had been trying to find her or flag down a helicopter that was looking for her. She said that they were easily much larger than any man or dog that she had ever seen before. And she said that she doesn't really know how she survived for 2 weeks out there, but she did.
Wow. I mean, she definitely had to know how to survive on her own, but that would be absolutely terrifying. She was
Yes,
22 years old. Wow. I
all
can't
by
even
herself.
imagine.
I know, right? Straight up nightmare fuel right there. And I mean, that's definitely an area that we have pinged out with a ton of dogman activity. So,
And
Definitely a
what
high.
location?
What location
Sorry.
was that? Oh, you're okay.
Uh-huh.
That was Table Rock State Park, South Carolina.
Wow. Okay. Table Rock. I don't think I've ever heard of that. Maybe I have. I don't know. I don't ever recall ever hearing of that. So that's a really cool
Yeah,
encounter,
it's a
actually.
pretty densely forested area and stuff like that. I mean, people definitely get in there, outdoor enthusiasts and stuff like that. But I wouldn't say it's really necessarily on the main trail of places that people filter into.
Nice. All right. Well, that was definitely a creepy encounter. You said you got a couple more?
That I do. If you think that one was gnarly, wait till you hear this one. So
Oh
this
God,
one.
I can't wait.
It's February 2008, Scape Ore Swamp, Lee County, South Carolina. It's extremely early in the morning, and Bob Rawson is walking towards his truck because he needs to he needs to head into work. And as he's approaching his truck in the very slight sunlight that's rising up, he notices it's sitting extremely strange. He's like, "What the heck? Do I have a flat tire or what?" So as he approaches it, he realizes his front axles have been completely bent outwards, as if
Mm,
something had just yanked on it with massive force. And all down the side of his truck were huge 5-digit claw marks, slobber, and on the front grate of his hood, it looked like something had been chewing on it. So obviously, being unable to start his truck and feeling a tad bit uneasy, he called in some of the local sheriff's department, who then called in some people that specialized in animal activity. And when they did come in, they tested the slobber, and the slobber came up as unknown canine DNA. And they also found massive tracks all around the area. And as if that's not terrifying enough, when the deputies showed up, the man said nothing at first. He just started walking towards a field. So they followed them, and in this field, there are just a ton of animal parts just ripped all up and thrown all around. And yeah, so as I said, it was verified as some sort of unknown canine that had decided to completely destroy his truck.
dang, that is crazy.
Yes,
And
yes,
they
straight up
were,
nightmare fuel.
wow. And all this is actually coming from like excerpts in your book, right? That you're
Yes,
writing.
yep. It's coming from excerpts in my book. Some of these are pretty installed into my brain, so I can spit them out well. Some of the other ones, if I want to get my facts more correct, I make sure that I have it in front of me so I can scan it as I'm talking about it. I'm a big stickler about throwing out misinformation, whether it's something as simple as it's the 82nd division when it could have been the 84th. I hate that because I have it properly documented. I shouldn't say hate because I don't hate anything, but I dislike that because I have all the proper specs and information in my book. So if I don't specify on a certain date, for example, it's because I don't want to be off by it. But yeah, everything in the book is by area, location, date, time, etc.
Wow. And that actually is so important to get that accurate information out. Like I personally commend you for it because so many people do just throw out, oh, it was, the 80th marker or something like that, like you said.
Yes.
And it really to really investigate something, you need to know
Need your
exactly.
specs correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So I think it's awesome. Well, I can't imagine just going out and having all that done to my vehicle. Like this poor guy,
Yes.
man.
And then
Like,
being by the swamp already, which is probably some sort of ominous feeling. I
oh,
mean,
I know,
those things
right?
are cool, but down south with all like what are those trees called that like, are they willow trees that hang down and look all like kind of creepy in the
Yeah.
swamp areas? Yes. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. We used to actually live in the swamps. I used to live near like Sumter County or what is it?
Yep.
And there was swamps through there, and it was just I mean, it was like a really creepy haunted
Yes.
like area. It's insane actually.
You
Like
feel
I
like
don't
the
know.
beast of Boggy Creek's gonna come out and snag you.
Oh no, what is the beast of Boggy Creek? What is
So,
this?
just the only reason I threw that in there is just because a lot of people are terrified of that. It's out of my realm because I'm a Dogman guy, but one of my good
Oh,
friends, Lyle Blackburn, he's a big Sasquatch guy, and that was actually one of the original modern time, really well documented Bigfoot cases in Boggy Creek. Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
you should
So he's
definitely
a
check it out.
Bigfoot.
Yeah,
He's a
Boggy Creek.
Bigfoot.
Yes.
Well,
Yep.
I don't mind talking about other cryptids on the podcast, but I mean, if you don't know about it, you don't know about it, and
Yeah.
that's
No,
okay because we do
you
focus
on the Dogman.
on
Yes,
it. Yeah.
you and everyone else probably. I mean, I'm educated enough, like I said, about Sasquatch and things like that. So I mean, I'll touch reference about it and things like that. But I've man, I haven't put really any sort of effort into educating myself on anything updated in the Sasquatch for at least probably 8 or 9 years. So
Yeah, and it seems like it's a category definitely all on its own. Definitely
yes,
different
yes,
from Dogman.
100%. And you know my thoughts on things. That I just feel like to be able to be a consistent and quality researcher. Just my view is to spend the time on the subject that you're investigating and not just little plucks here and there. You know.
Yeah, definitely. Um, well, is there any other you said
Oh
you got
yeah.
another story? Oh
We haven't
gosh,
even touched. We
okay.
haven't even touched North Carolina here for you.
Oh my goodness. Is this from North Carolina now or South
Yes.
Carolina?
Here.
Okay.
So we will actually fast forward before we go back in time real quick. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Petria National Park incident, where David and his wife were going camping, and as they came into this area, they saw it was just very dim lit and becoming evening, and these people were standing outside with their dogs, and just had this ominous kind of feeling to that to Dave and his wife. They were just basically looking at him like, "What the hell are you guys doing?" And as David and his wife went further towards the park area, they pulled over and they were looking for an area that they thought would be good. And then the warden came down and basically just shot the shit with them for a couple minutes and said it was a nice park and stuff, but he was going home, and that he'd be back the following morning. So David and his wife were potentially a little caught off guard by that response, but they
Mm.
continued on their way, and all of a sudden, David felt like he hit something, got out, checked the back end of his trailer hitch, and on the back of the RV, because they were driving a truck that you attached the trailer to, so it's not like a drivable RV. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
when he checked out the back, it looked like something had smashed out the light. So as he's
Ooh.
looking around, he just notices this dead quiet, and starts to hear some brush rustling. And he looks over and sees like a 4 to 5 foot tall, dark black dog-like wolf creature staring at him. And then he said, it just literally he starts hearing popping, and it pushes itself up onto two legs. And he said at that point in time, he heard something behind him, turned around, saw another one, turned back around. The original creature, now instead of being like 15 to 20 yards away, was now only like 10 yards away. And so
Oh
he
hell no to that.
yes, yes. So he started. So he started discharging his firearm in the direction of the animal, and as he jumped back into his truck to speed off, him and his wife said that they saw at least four of them in the rearview mirror chasing them for a while before venturing back off into the swamp. So that's a pretty nightmare fuel one. That's more recent. I don't have the exact date in front of me, but it's definitely one of the newer ones in the area for sure.
Yeah. That is wow. That's crazy. And I was just talking about how like dogmen, well, they run in packs. Now, do you believe that they run in packs, or do you think that they're more of like a singular?
I think, excuse me, just like with anything else, you're gonna have solo ones, just like you have solo wolves and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And then you're gonna have your packs. My theory on the aspect is that the ones that are running in packs are probably the ones that have been kicked out of the groups or the tribes. They're probably ones that just basically don't respect the elders and just go out and do whatever they want, like taking people all the time and just basically causing potential grief for the rest of the group. So I would think that the ones that are doing that, like those 3 to 4 that David and his wife saw, were probably basically like the asshole ones that have been kicked out of their squads, and they're probably all just congregating together.
Huh. Okay.
You know,
Interesting. Yeah.
you know
Yeah, it
how
makes
kind of like,
sense.
yeah, you know how can I word this? You know how like minds usually click with each other. So I mean, if you got
Yes.
somebody You have one of those that believes it's just going to do whatever it wants. Well, then you have another one that believes same thing. I mean, they're obviously probably going to click together and realize, hey, 4 or 5 of us that are just having that same mind frame, we should be able to make quick work.
Yeah, definitely. You see that everywhere. I mean, that goes way back talking about the Bible when, you know, Lucifer's angels came down with him. I mean, that's a story that's ancient. That goes all the way back.
Yes. Yep. And there are
So,
a ton of cases of them being documented running with normal wolves as well as coyotes and other pack animals to trying to fit in.
cool. That's neat,
Yeah, that's
actually.
pretty gnarly. And then I got 3 more older ones for you here real quick. And
All
these
right.
are also from North Carolina. And this one is from
Wow.
yeah,
That's a
I have
lot
so many.
from the
You,
Carolinas. I didn't
you,
even realize.
we could probably literally make 3 episodes in a row about just the Carolinas. So
Wow.
yeah, it's gnarly. Pretty much every subject that we talk about, we could literally like. I have so much. So I mean, at some point, I'll have to show you the whole entire book and things like that. But yeah, so this one occurred in 1902 in Asheville,
Mm.
North Carolina.
Oh
Locals
yeah, I
be
love Asheville.
Yep,
Sorry, I
locals,
love it.
you're all good. Locals begin reporting seeing enormous bipedal wolf-like creatures with glowing eyes that have been roaming the mountains and the forests of the nearby areas. They were so afraid of the creature that they even gave it a name, the Boojum. 1953, Bladen County, North Carolina. Local residents again begin waking up daily to missing pets and livestock, or even worse, finding some of their animals decapitated or savagely mauled and left strewn across their property. December
Ooh,
29th, 1953, Clarkton, North Carolina. A local woman begins to hear all their neighborhood dogs frantically barking as something that must be concerning to them. She gets up off her couch and looks out the window. To her horror, she sees a strange, big, jet black, cat like wolf creature casually walking on all fours into the darkness of her yard. So, around this time when all these sightings and maulings were being documented, they actually dubbed the creature the Bladen dog creature or wolf creature or cat wolf. There's a couple different names for it.
the Bladen. You're gonna have to send me how to spell that. And then they said the one in Asheville occurred in 1902. You said?
Yes. Yep, 1902. Yes. So Bladen
Wow.
is just Bladen, Bladen County.
Oh, that's weird. That's exactly how I spelt it.
Yeah, and it's right near Clarkston County too. So right in that whole entire area, starting in the
Well,
50s.
I'm very near Asheville. Like it's only a couple hours away from me. I'm not gonna lie. And that's kind of terrifying. But actually that kind of goes into like the Blue Ridge Mountain and territories and stuff like that where God knows what's roaming around them areas.
Yep. Pretty
So,
pretty gnarly stuff there for sure.
and you
But yeah,
said
no.
the one they called it the Boojum?
Yeah, the Boojum, Boojum. It's some sort of indigenous type terminology that came in with some of the settlers. I'm not fully sure which settler group did inhabitate that area at that point in time. It could have been Germanic or Spanish, or like I said, so I don't fully know the origin of that word, but yeah,
Hmm.
that's what they called it.
Well, this is interesting. I'll tell you something. Where I'm from a little town in South Carolina. That's where I grew up, a real small town. All
Yep.
right. And we had a cryptid or creature there called Booger Jim. Now, Booger Jim, I think he was supposed to be like a ghost creature, but they would actually call him a creature.
Hmm.
But it's just so funny because it sounds like Boojum, like Booger Jim, like yeah, that's just I don't know.
Yeah,
I
so a
don't know
lot
why
of
that
those,
player.
a lot of those terminologies, if you notice, it's like a play on words with some of the other ones, like you said, so that they might sound similar because they were created pretty much probably around the same time frame by the same by that group of settlers that came in.
Yeah, definitely. Man, that is crazy. I absolutely love those stories, especially the ones from like the early 1900s. I was just listening to your I'm loving like the World War II uh um documentation that you are sharing on your YouTube channel. Sorry, I can't spit things out right now,
It's
but
all good. No,
I
I
actually
appreciate that.
actually just shared that on my YouTube channel, and I absolutely think it's interesting with all the Hitler, the dog-headed men experiments and stuff like we talked in our last episode.
Yeah, no, there's so much of that occult type of behavior and stuff like that. I believe at the moment, I think those are all the World War II reports that I do have. Obviously, I'm always searching for more things. It is kind of, I got lucky, I guess, to have some of the old school documents shared with me and stuff like that that I was able to read. But yeah, no, if I definitely am able to come across any more of those are definitely pretty cool as well. It seems like for the most part, I haven't really heard too many stories from the World War I time or things like that. It seems to be right
Mhm.
around the World War II time. But again, I just potentially haven't been shared that information yet.
Yeah, yeah, that would be really interesting about World War One. I would love to hear some from that. Like just the farther back, the better. I love ancient history and stuff like that.
Yeah, no,
So,
they have to. I mean, it definitely has to be there. I mean, I have a case from over in the Viet Cong, Vietnamese area, Thailand, that
mhm.
part of the globe, where during the Vietnam War, they had reported seeing dog-like creatures from both sides, some of the American soldiers as well as some of the Vietnamese soldiers. So, I mean, there wasn't too much documentation about the time frames and stuff like that. It was kind of hearsay, but I mean, people did speak of seeing that stuff as well.
Wow, that is crazy. Yeah, just reported all over the world the same thing. You can't deny when people see the same things and they report the same kind of features. Like, how would, okay, the other person, you're not going to say, I seen a werewolf with a German Shepherd head. And then the next person, I mean, that's just it says the same thing.
Especially at
And
that
it's
point in time when communication wasn't as easy.
exactly,
It's easier
exactly
now where I could like,
right.
say something and text my friend over in Australia. I'd be like, hey, did you see that? And she could be like, oh my goodness, and then have that description in her head. But yeah, no, especially on time frames back then, definitely during like 290 BC and when it was extremely hard to
Yeah, they
communicate
had
with
to
other
like
cultures.
deliver their stuff on tablets, you know? I mean,
Well, that's what
they're
I'm
not
saying,
going,
so if you saw
and not
something,
iPads either.
no, yeah,
Just
pieces
straight
are lost.
tablets.
Yes.
That's great. Well, man, I mean, do you have any more stories from the Carolinas today?
Um, I do have more, but I actually don't have any more presented in front of me. But yeah, no, we have a ton more from that area that we can definitely dig into in the future or whenever you would like to.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I'm trying to think. I got at least 3 pages worth of documentation from that area and stuff. And those were just some of the ones that I just plugged out just to take a look at. I mean, I was scanning through, and there's definitely like a ton of stuff there. So,
Wow. Yeah, I'd like to hear more around like the Asheville area and stuff like that, and the Blue Ridge Mountains and stuff, because that's just, full of woods, full of, you know, places, full of good places to hide for a dog, man.
well, and plus you guys are right down near kind of the hot spot, like the Ohio area,
Right.
the Great Lakes, the LBL. I mean, you guys are kind of all near that cluster of stuff. So you're definitely going to have the majority of the historical type dogman encounters. I mean, doing research and things, I've been able to stumble onto other documentations and speak to people and stuff like that. But in the areas that I have done ancient or previous type of researches, they definitely are spected kind of in that big cluster of the whatever you'd like to refer to it, the Midwest, the Great Lakes type area.
Yeah. Interesting.
Well, I do appreciate everyone stopping in again and hanging out with Brookestirr and myself as we once again tackle some infamous Dogman information. As time goes on, we will be getting more and more nightmare fuel type encounters on on our podcast, but we will also be getting some pretty cherishable guests coming on here in the near future once we
Yes, I
establish
can't
ourselves.
wait.
Yes, a little bit better. So all of the support has been kindly and greatly appreciated. As always, please do make sure to stop over to Brookestirr's thread if you're not already there. Like, subscribe, and share her content. And please do the same for me, because if I am your favorite vampire from the North American Dogman Project, the support does help. So much love, everybody. Be good out there and make sure you stay safe.
Well, everyone, what did you think about tonight's episode? Let us know in the comments below. Have you ever seen a dogman or cryptid, anything of that nature? Let us know. You can also email me and I'll share your story. WOLFPACK, I hope you have a good rest of your night. If you can indeed sleep. And me and Kenny will see you in the next one. Bye.